Hello everyone, and welcome to Waffle Flower Crafts. It's Shannon here, and in today's video I'll be creating a stripy rainbow background with a bit of a twist, and I'll complete my card with a pair of pears that I create using this Stitched Love stamp set. This is a really cute cross-stitch stamp set. I really love all of Waffle Flower cross-stitch stamp sets, but this one is particularly cute. I'll be using the matching dies for the Stitched Love set as well, and then I'll be making that rainbow background with one of these stripy stamps from this Plaid Play stamp set. I'm using that one I'm touching right now with my finger, that middle solid stripe. So I'll be using several Waffle Flower inks today, basically a rainbow of Waffle Flower inks. I've already have my card base made. So this is a top folding A2 card base, so that is 4 1/4 by 11, scored and folded at 5 1/2. I'm going to pull off that center stripe there and mount it on my acrylic block. Just gonna stretch it out here and get it nice and straight before I mount it on, because I definitely don't want any curves or any curves in this stamp at all before when it's mounted. And I'm going to actually stamp all this with my card folded open. And I'm going to start with my yellow, which is like a middle color of the rainbow. And this is just so I can get my positioning a little bit more accurate with my positioning. I want this like chevron or V rainbow to be at the upper portion of my card. So I just cleaned my stamp after I stamped 2 stripes with the You Said What. Now I'm moving on to my next shade in the rainbow, which is an orange. This color is called Oh Happy Day. It's a really pretty orange color. These are all dye inks, by the way, and they just stamp so beautifully. You can see how beautiful they're stamping with just one layer. I'm not having to stamp them multiple times. So after I'm continuing on through the rainbow here. So this red is called My Pleasure, and every time I'm stamping a stripe, I'm looking through the stamp. So that's why my head's in the way. I apologize. I'm looking through the stamp to see the previously stamped stripe, and I'm overlapping those stripes just a bit, just to avoid any white gaps between my stripes. I just want it to be kind of as perfect as I can get, but if I get a little white gap here or there, I'm not too worried about it. So I just stamped the green, which is called Chirp Chirp. Now I'm moving on to this beautiful aqua color, which is called New Fish in Pond. And after I do this, I'll do a blue. This blue is called Daydreaming. I'll do 2 stripes of that, and you can just see how I'm just kind of doing all the colors in rainbow order here, just they're diagonally positioned rainbows, and they overlap a little bit, but I like how they overlap. So this is the final color. This color is Happy Go Lucky, a really pretty purple color, and that'll be my last stripe. And I really like stamping this with the card open, because you can see I have a little bit of that rainbow on the back, and I just think that's kind of a cool little look, kind of a little surprise, like a little bit of that rainbow on the back of the card. I know it's a little minor, but it makes me happy to have that on the back. So my rainbow's all done. Now I've got a scrap piece of 110-pound white cardstock, and I am going to stamp these pears here. Now I wanted to show you, I store all these layering stamp sets. I store the stamps on the blank acetate, so different than how we normally store. Normally you keep the stamps stuck to the printed acetate, but I store them on the backing acetate, because I'm going to use that printed acetate to help me line up those stems. And I do this for all my layering stamp sets, especially cross-stitch ones where it really kind of requires precision lining. So I'm just inking these up with Chirp Chirp and stamping them twice so they're nice and crisp. I'm going to take these off here, and now I'm going to grab that printed piece of acetate, and I'm going to use that printed image on the acetate, line it up where that stem's supposed to go. I'm working right now with that right pear. That's the one I'm working on. I'll do the stem on the left in a minute. Once I get that lined up just where it should be, I'm going to pull the stamp off and then line the stamp up to the little X's that are printed on the acetate. And I just bumped it here a smidge, so I had to reline it up. But now I've got it all lined up. I'm going to fold my MISTI over, pick up that stamp, and I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Line up that acetate, then put the stamp down and pick it up. And I just jumped ahead a little bit because it's the same thing. So for the stems, I'm going to use the other Waffle Flower ink called Coffee Loves Milk. Just ink them up real quick and then stamp them down. I really like this acetate trick for lining up stamps that need like precision. It helps so much. I've really found it a lot easier than just trying to eyeball it and get it in the space. So now that I've got these stamped, I have to stamp the cute little faces that come with these with this Stitched Love set. So the pear has a cute little smiley face. I'm just going to use the same one for both pairs. There are two for the pears, but I'm just going to do the same little face for both. I'm going to use VersaFine here, stamp it, and then I'm going to move it over to the other pair and stamp the other pair. So real simple, just stamp those little faces. Aren't they cute? Okay, so now that I've got those stamped, I'm going to go and use the matching dies to die cut them out, which you see here. And now that I've got them die cut, I'm going to use them to help me position where I want my sentiment to go. So I'm going to actually put these pears right on top of the rainbow here. So I'm going to kind of put them right where the two meet. And I'm going to grab a sentiment from the Stitched Love stamp set. Now there's two sentiments. There's we are quite a pair, and then this one, Love You Bunches, which I know is intended. There's strawberries that come with this Stitched Love set, so it's really great because you get pears and strawberries. And I know that this Love You Bunches is really intended for the strawberries, but I really wanted to shake things up a little bit. I kind of committed a card making sin here and didn't use the pun, so I'm sorry, but I just was feeling a little different than just doing the pear sentiment, so I chose the Love You Bunches for this pear card. I've got a little bit of foam tape here. I'm just snipping it and putting it on the back of those pears. Now that I've stamped my sentiment, I did use VersaFine again for my sentiment, and I just pulled the back. I'm going to pull the backing off real quick. I'm just going to use tweezers here. So that's what I found to work well to get these backings off this foam tape. I was struggling before. I'm still not used to those nails. I'm getting better. And now that I've got the backing off, I'm just going to stick them right down onto my card base. So this is almost, except for the pears, like it almost is. It's a very simple card. There's not a lot of dimension. You just have the foam tape from the pears. And then I'm going to finish this off with a little bit of Ranger. This is Tuxedo Tie, I believe. It's Ranger, it's an accent, it's Enamel Accents by Ranger. And I'm just going to squeeze it out here a little bit on the eyes. This is just going to give a little bit of dimension to those eyes and make them shine. And I just think this is a nice final touch, because again, this is kind of a really simple card, but I think it really works with the really beautiful rainbow in the background. You don't want to cover that up too much. So there's the completed card. I'll try to hold it at an angle here so you can see a little bit of that dimension, just a little bit on those eyes, just to kind of make them stand out and give the card a little something extra. And here's one that I made previously, all dried, because the ink is still drying a little bit on the left card, so that's why maybe the rainbow looks a slightly bit more vivid, because these, just like all dye inks, they do kind of dry a little bit lighter. I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you want any more information on the products I use, please visit waffleflower.com, and you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more creative ideas. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.